Mech pilots, online. BattleTech manuals, online. Long-term memory, offline. All systems bungled. Initiating BungleTech podcast.
In our 39th deployment of BungleTech, a BattleTech podcast, we toggle the safeties off the fusion engine and attempt something both daring and experimental in our primary topic segment. Together with you in the command couch, we chart the state of BattleTech in our era. From there, we shift to a brief but meaningful announcement about some aspirational upgrades we're planning for the podcast. Think of it as a minor refit in the mech bay that will shape future Think of it as a minor enhancement in the mech bay that will shape future deployments. It's a compact episode on launch, a poorly armed locust out of machine gun ammo, but a deployment that may grow into a full assault drop as time and feedback roll in. Plug in your neurohelmet, tune a transmission in our direction, and join the ranks of those who've already shared their thoughts.
Bonus objective. Extraordinary proclamation. Initiating.
Spring, glorious spring. I look outside at the beautiful landscape of Alberta, currently covered by slushy snow, and I know, occasional spontaneous April blizzards aside, a new season is coming. And with this new season, change. BungleTech is evolving, swapping out omnipods, designing a new variant, transmogrifying, whatever you want to call it, and as part of this, we are looking to add a new host to our discombobulated ranks. Have you ever been interested in being part of a BattleTech podcast? Are you interested in volunteering time each month with likelihood of no C-bill recompense? Does the BungleTech vibe resonate with you in a disturbing way you've difficulty explaining? Well then, you could be the addition we're looking for. We've attached a form in this episode's description entitled BungleTech Co-Host Submission. If interested in joining us, take a few minutes to fill it out. Let us know a bit about you, and we will dutifully, as a steel viper, review them and contact those we think could be a good fit. In advance, we appreciate everyone who is interested in being a part of BungleTech. As podcasts are generally run on interpersonal vibes, note that there are really no tangible criteria we have for selection beyond just this. Once we have found someone foolish enough to join our ranks, this message will be deleted from this episode.
This is Professor Michael presenting The Sphere We Live In. Through all of human history, our societies and civilizations have been ever-changing. The dawn of the inner sphere we know today can be traced back to the ancient Deimos project, the first tentative steps from the Terran cradle into the galaxy, which culminated in the colonization of New Earth and the start of the first Terran exodus in 2116. Existing social structures for intrasolar habitation were insufficient as waves of human colonists spread to nearby stars, separated by distances unimaginable in the primitive centuries before, and incomprehensible to those who sought to organize it. New behavioral norms became necessary. The Alliance Grand Surveys were ambitious projects for their time. Fleets of early jump-capable ships sent to hundreds of stars near Terra, just in an effort to understand the exponentially growing scale of human expansion. The first in 2172 cataloged 112 worlds within 40 light-years of Sol. Less than 30 years later, the second found 395 within 90 light-years. The third reported 461 colonies, and the fourth Alliance Grand Survey in 2235 found 619. By the time of the fifth and final Grand Survey in 2389, the Terran Alliance had collapsed, unsuited to the vastness of the ever-growing colonized sphere. It was replaced by the Terran hegemony, which ran a final grand survey, charting out to the periphery and defining the bounds of what would be the inner sphere for centuries thereafter. But it was a state that no longer concerned itself with the growing human diaspora. From the hegemony was born the Star League, and from the Star League the successor states, the clan worlds, the Word of Blake, and the Republic. Each new era bringing new worlds, new societies, new wars, and a new sphere. We may never be prepared for what our era will bring, but we can be certain that it will be ever-changing. Now you know about the sphere we live in.
Primary objective, podcast topic segment, initiating.
Today's episode is something very experimental. An ever-evolving time capsule of sorts populated with the answers of a simple question directed at you, listener, now, at the point of time in which you experience this episode. Included in the show's description is a short form entitled The State of BattleTech. We want you to populate this form. And as responses come into this form, this episode will be updated with batches of them periodically. And the entire content of this segment will be made up of them. It's simple, really, in concept. Logistically, it may be horrible, but let's play it out. That aside, there are only a few rules to stick to. When filling out the form, all form fields are required, responses are limited to 700 characters, avoid crosstalk between your response and others, and no adult language, please, because this is a family-friendly podcast after all. Check out the link in the show description and send us an answer. Without further ado, following are answers captured across time to the following question. How do you feel about the state of BattleTech?
Incoming transmission, March 2026.
Our first response comes from Tom Dyer Situation Bovee, located in the United States of America. Like a 3025 mech, the game is perfectly imperfect. 41 years in, and the important part is still getting together with friends and rolling dice. I've met and gone to know some of my best friends in life through this game. It has given me more than I could ever ask for. Sure, it has flaws and things that need a tweak. But if the worst thing happening right now is that CGL can't hit a deadline and has no clue how to market this amazing product properly, we're in a great place. People ignore the fact that CGL is a super small company made up of people who are fans, because if they didn't love the game, it would have died in the 2000s like the Clicks game. The game's amazing. It always has been. Next, Slurski from the United States of America as well. I've only been into BattleTech for 3 years now. No Kickstarters for me. Just buying from my friendly local game store, online shops, and 3D printing. I mainly play Alpha Strike and have a relatively decent understanding of Classic, which I'd prefer to play more of. Regardless of how I or anyone else may feel about the powers that be, this game is probably in its best state ever at the moment. Next, from Boy in a Box from the United States of America. I feel very good about the state of BattleTech. We've surged in popularity from a lonely whisper to the second most popular tabletop wargame. There are tons of lovely people making wonderful fan content, BungleTech included. We've a presence at conventions, game stores, and even non-gaming stores these days. New product is rolling out and is largely getting better in quality. Hinterlands and Aces were both great and added to the scene. Mega Mech is great too. I've gone from quietly enjoying a couple of video games to becoming a daily participant in discussions across the community, enjoying Classic and Alpha Strike, and even helping start a convention in New England, the New England MechCon. Next from Klint, also from the United States of America. I wasn't around when BattleTech first came out, so I don't have anything to really compare the current state of BattleTech against. That being said, one of more common statements I hear from other people who've been in BattleTech longer is how we're in a BattleTech renaissance. We're getting new products, we're getting new fiction, we're even getting updated rules soon. Overall, I hear really good things about BattleTech, and I think BattleTech is in a good state. The only real negative aspects that I'm aware of are logistical issues with product not staying in stock or being released later than expected. Doubly so for international shipping. So there's still some room for improvement. Next, from Ned the Butcher from the United States of America as well. Last year I got into BattleTech after about 25 years away. I've recently got my kids into it and started playing at my local store. For several years, painting Warhammer has been getting tedious as the editions change every couple of years, but getting back into BattleTech has brought back my love of painting. After decades of trying to get my son into games, he's even painting his own mercenaries. I love the CGL minis and have 3D printed tons of mechs and terrain. Now to Launchpad, also from the United States of America. Generally, I think the tabletop game is in good shape. The plastic mechs are good. Aces is probably the best BattleTech product ever. Everyone is looking forward to the new rules. The tournament scene is decent, although I feel like things plateaued a bit in 2025. The two things I'm a little hesitant on are 1, the state of the lore, and 2, Catalyst's ability to stay relevant without a solid handle on technology. We've been in 3152 for a while now without much forward progress. The novels in this era, with a few exceptions, have been not terribly well written. And Catalyst can't make a decent website, MUL, their own site, to save their lives. Just hire the Mega Mech Bay team already. Jackal from the United States of America. BattleTech is at its best since after Clicky Tech. I see new players consistently. The mechs and mech art have improved. Bigger box sets especially have added a lot of value. Alpha Strike, Mercenaries, and now Aces. Secondary factions have gotten more love in force packs. The rules needed attention, and playtest packages were comprehensive. Content creators have, though, identified an area that needs attention. Worldwide events, narrative events, etc. BattleTech needs more designed events around the current era. It would help more players connect with it. And as a side, I also would classify content creators as demo agents, or at least virtual demo agents. They play games on YouTube, etc., and share the love of the universe. Leaning into this, they can help make a global event. Next, Aster from the United States of America. BattleTech is the strongest it has ever been. The storyline is advancing, new fiction is being made, and old fiction re-released. New plastic mechs are everywhere, and the game's popularity is steadily increasing. Could it be better? Of course. But a lot of that has to do with the fragmented IP. Video game, tabletop, and movie TV rights are all with different companies. None of them actually Catalyst Game Labs. BattleTech also doesn't have a formal organized play or an easy format for pickup games, which means it can be difficult for someone to just show up wanting to play with an established group. Podcasters like BungleTech and YouTubers help spread the good word. Of Blake. And that brings us to an end of another deployment of BungleTech. Although, feel free to check back in on this episode as the months pass to see how it all evolves. As always, you can find us via Discord, email, Twitter, and Patreon, all linked in the description. To all our listeners, and especially all our Patreon supporters, good fortunes on the battlefield. Selah.
All podcast objectives complete. Podcast shutdown sequence initiated.